starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Well, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend, had a blessed Sunday, and getting ready to enjoy your Christmas with your family and friends. We're just waiting on Cornell to call us, but I just want to remind you guys that um, during this time, people that have lost loved ones, it's still kind of hard for them to adjust with their loved ones being gone. So don't push them into doing anything. Don't criticize them. Don't tell them that it's it been so many years or so many months that you should be past that. Don't do them like that. I had a phone call with a young lady today that said that someone told her she needs to be over it. Number one, you never get over a loss of a loved one, especially if it's a child. Well, until we get Cornell here, we're going to go ahead and we're going to just start the show. Tonight, I told you guys last week that I will bring him back, and I kept my word, and he kept his promise. Let's welcome back KC. How are you doing this evening?
I'm blessed. I'm grateful to be back on the platform and be able to tell the story. And I know it sounds like a book or a novel, but it was real life. The things happening, stuff that they did, and I'm just trying to get help. I'm trying to get someone to hear my story and to possibly give me the help I need in order to relieve myself of all the time that I was getting unnecessarily.
Okay. So you just is this the first time you ever shared your story on a platform, or have you shared your story before?
Um, I shared it on a crew podcast a while back, and it's going to remain the same as it always been. Um, I was denied. I was not the necessary help by the court that I was deserved to have. But if you want to get into it, we can get started, and I'll recap on what I looked at what I said last week.
Press 2 to learn how to put thank you for using Security.
Okay. We got the second co-host is joining us. Cornell had just came in. Good evening, Cornell.
Hello, ma'am. How are you doing tonight, ma'am?
I am doing wonderful. Me and Casey, we was getting ready to start. So, I want to go ahead and let you introduce yourself.
Okay, my name is Cornel Drummer. I'm a Texas prison inmate of 34 years, and I am currently the founder of the Free Texas Campaign. I am a partner with the Aspiring Authors Magazine, a partner with the Crew Podcast, and I am a host of the Let's Talk About It show.
Okay. Now, we had a discussion just morning, and I also posted the comment on Monday Motivation with Queen Angela. You guys need to check that out on Mondays. If you're not listening to Monday Motivation with Queen Angela, you are missing some good nuggets. You have to tune in and listen. Well, this morning, I posted that a lot of people don't think that color plays a part in the justice system and during the sentencing phase. But you know me, I always love to make sure that I'm giving out right information. I went on and I did my research. And when I researched it, it came back saying that just like I thought, it does. Race do plays a part in the justice system when it's come to sentencing and jury and other things. So I don't know who want to start first. If it's Casey or Cornell, you know.
Okay, well, I will go ahead and allow Mr. Casey to come on first, ma'am, and go ahead and tell his story because it's still intertwined with what I'm gonna go ahead and say. So, Mr. Casey, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, Cornel, and
okay, sir.
We're gonna start it out. So,
well, have your fun, sir.
Like I said, 15 years ago, November 29th, 2009, I was in work at San Antonio International Airport. I get a phone call from a guy who was having a relationship with my wife. The guy, I was wondering what really happened because I had sugar that was put inside my truck. Somebody had placed sugar in my truck. Come to find out this guy had did it. He was mad that my wife wouldn't leave me to be with him. And he called me at my job, confronted me, threatened me about my wife, that she's going to always be with him, that she's his, and there's nothing I can do about it. Of course, we get into an argument. I get mad. I had to get someone to talk to me because me and my wife had an argument about this guy that she was sleeping with, putting sugar in my truck. So when I get home, we get into an argument. My stepdaughter calls her brother. Her brother comes over to our house with two of his friends. My stepson and his friends, they crip gang members. They in the game. The stepson and his friends had guns on them. I ended up having to shoot my stepson, who threatened me. He threatened to kill me. I shot him in front of my neighbor's house while he was pointing a 9mm gun at me, threatening to kill me, threatening to shoot me. My neighbor witnessed it. She heard it. He testified in trial that he heard this. His friend ran up in my garage, up in my driveway, and he was raising his hand like he was getting ready to shoot me. I could have sent the kill, but I didn't do it. I shot him in the hand. I shot my stepson in the hand. During this incident, it shook me so much that I said I just decided to do suicide by cop. I couldn't deal with what had happened, what I had done. But while I'm in my house contemplating the suicide by the police officer, everybody's calling. My mother-in-law called, telling me that the police need to kill me, that they need to shoot and kill me. I said, yes, they're going to do that. I'm going to make sure they do that. This is what prompted me to do the suicide by cop. Then her cousins called me, telling me that the reason why they didn't want to be in my wedding because she was cheating on me. She's always been cheating on me. So this is not, I feel like a good thing to be telling somebody who just do this traumatic thing to do it. So now I'm looking at my marriage as like a lie. I'm looking at that everything that was going on in my life was a lie. I shot my bed because I feel like the sanctuary that I had in my bed had been tainted, that it was nasty. I felt dirty. So I started popping bottles. I had Capazier, a liter bottle. I popped it. I drank half of it. I popped the fill up bottle. Popped half of it, drank that. I got a Jose Cuervo. I popped that bottle, was drinking that. I took some Picadins out the bottle, threw them in my white Vicodin. I threw 4 of them in my mouth, and I see the police outside, and I tried to entice the security. This thing going in my mind that I just wanted to die. That my life, my marriage, and everything that was going on in my life was a lot. I wanted to kill myself. I wanted the police to do it, but I was too much power to do it. So I'm talking to a negotiator during the time of the offense, everything that was going on. The negotiator, he talked me out of and to be able to turn myself in. Come to find out that me shooting out my window because I shot out my window trying to entice the police to shoot me. There was a police officer that was sitting across the street. They was sitting in this bush, this oleander bush. Everyone knows like, it's a constantly green bush. And the man was a police officer that was hiding there with a carbine rifle with a nighttime vision scope on it, trying to get a clear shot at it. But I had no idea he was in this bush. He got hit with the pellets of the shotgun I had in 2 spots in his shin. He said he pulled them out because he didn't think nothing of it. I didn't know I had hit him until after I was driving, after the police was taking me in for questioning. They told me that I shot a police officer. I didn't. But they said he was all right, that he wasn't hurt seriously. They tell me about my sister, they tell me about his best friend, and they told me they was shot, but they was okay. But still, my mind, I was hearing things, but I really wasn't comprehending the full aspect of it. I just wasn't there. And a proper procedure that they were supposed to be doing is putting me under psychological evaluation, is to see why was I trying to do suicide by cop. Nobody questioned me about that. I was never evaluated for my mental state at that particular time or what was going on. So I'm in the jail. I'm going through the proceedings now of the court.
Can I
get there.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I just want to jump in right quick. And then you said something about your mental, and that's what I was about to ask you about your mental health. By all of that, what everybody was saying to you, your mother-in-law saying that you should just go ahead and let the police kill you, and your family or members calling saying that letting you know the reason why they wasn't in your wedding because she had cheated on you. Her cousins called you. So would you say,
her cousins with his friend.
So would you say that right there, you just had a meltdown, or you just lost your mind at that moment, not finding out what, at that stage?
I had to shoot my stepson. So shooting someone who love is different from shooting someone that you feel like that you were in a threat or that your life is in danger with. Like that. I looked at the situation as being dangerous, but at the same time, I had gun training. My best friends is ex-military. They used to take me to the gun range, taught me how to use weapons. They gave me the protocol of shooting a gun if I have to shoot someone. Because anybody that's been through safety training and gun training, they tell you to shoot to kill. They don't teach you to shoot the wound. They tell you to shoot to kill when you're taking any kind of gun training. There is no shoot the person in the leg or shoot them in the arm or anything like that. But I felt like that I was so good that I can neutralize the situation from getting any serious. So I know from the standpoint, I looked at my stepson's friends more dangerous than him because he was in college. He was hanging with people from his past who they adopted him into his game life. he wasn't no fully member in this thing, like, like being jumped into it, initiated properly through the game procedures, how they do it. He was, okay, you cool with these people, okay, you down with us. That ain't how it goes. And anyone that's listening to the talk, they'll tell you that ain't how the game like that goes. You got to prove yourself worthy to be out in the titles, whatever you affiliated with.
I think Cornel wanna ask you a question.
Yeah.
Okay. So at the time of the incident, right? Prior to the incident, have you had any other mental issues related to your mental capacity as far as, to make a determination whether or not you are competent at the time of these proceedings that, caused you to commit the incident to which you caused? Have you had any prior incidents prior to this incident that anybody can say, well, hey, something's wrong with you, or you mentally incompetent, or you have psychological evaluation problems? Has there been any other incident other than this one?
When I was 19 years old, I was dating a girl. Her mother made her kill our baby. Getting ready to go in the military, planning on to marry this girl, and her mother made her get an abortion. They called me to come to her house and the mother tell me, I'm not ready to be no grandmother, and my daughter's not ready to be no mother. I made her get rid of it. So when she said get rid of it, I snapped. I mean, it did something to me. And 19 years old, not understanding the emotions that I'm going through, that I just lost a child, and I didn't know how to affect that emotions, and I tried to kill myself. I didn't want to deal with it. I didn't want to deal with thinking about it.
Okay, so would you say that this incident here is a repercussion, a replica of that type of an incident, that anytime you get in a situation like, if it is true enough, these guys came with guns, so you was there to defend yourself, so that would be classified as a self-defense case. But after that incident, to where after you shot these individuals, you were saying that you was ready to go out by suicide by cop. So I'm asking the question that, did you have any other alternative other than trying to go ahead and to have them to shoot? Or do you feel, like she said, did you just felt like had a meltdown from that, or what?
Mentally, I was not there. I mean, as you say, Casey had left the building. Any kind of emotional attachment, feelings, anything, it was dead. My marriage, I felt like that it was fake. I felt like that it wasn't real. I love this woman, and I love her kids, and to have hurt a son, that destroyed me inside, and I didn't know how that happened. And to me, I felt like that I was a failure to my family. I felt like that I felt lost. So I felt like it would better be dead than come back to prison. I've been to prison before. 24 years ago, I wasn't planning on making no trip back to no prison. I thought I had my life together. I had 3 good jobs, and I'm a black male who had a criminal record, but I thought I had redeemed my reputation. I thought I had got all that stuff behind me, and I moved forward in a positive way. But I was broken. I felt like I was damaged. I was damaged inside, and there was no coming back. And I'd rather be dead than to go through this type of stuff that I'm going through right now. This living in this warehouse, looking like that I'm some kind of gross national product, that I'm some kind of, just existing to make other people money other than myself. This is not being treated like an animal. Less than an animal. The animal gets better treatment than I'm getting, and yet the idiot is getting treatment.
Okay. Well, how would you take society looking at you, then shot 2 people, and shooting a gun at police officers or stuff like that. Would you think the society would classify you as a menace to society, as a person with anger management problems or something like that, a total disregard for the safety of other people? You wouldn't take it like that, or how would you take it, sir?
I wouldn't take it like that. I was put in a precarious situation where that I had an individual pull a gun on me and telling me that he was going to kill me, he was going to shoot. What am I to do?
Okay.
I got found out guilty for shooting my stepson for the reason of self-defense. I got found guilty for shooting the train because I shot him not once but twice. Because when he got shot the first time, he ran and hid behind a car and act like he was finna shoot me again. So in my mind, I'm looking at him, he's in a shooting stance. He's getting ready to shoot me. So he picked me from behind the shelter like he's finna get ready to shoot me, and I had to shoot him again. I wasn't taking. I'm rolled up on the street of San Antonio. There's no way that I'm going to let somebody get in a position to where they was going to kill me after they just threatened to kill me. So I had to, and courts don't look at it like that, Cornel. Dealing with the court system itself, that whole thing was a farce. It was fake.
Why would you call the court? Why are you calling the court system fake? Why? Give me some what?
So this is the point of the case. They got a procedure that they're supposed to be doing. I asked for an attorney, so they take in the courtroom an attorney to get an attorney. One of the lawyers that got appointed to my case gave this. Okay, I got appointed an attorney. His name was Albert M. Gutierrez Jr. Albert M. Gutierrez Jr. came to visit me. He gave me a contract to sign with him. In this contract, it stated that for me, he said, "Don't talk to anyone. Don't talk about this case to anyone." So, okay. He told me that he can give me 25 years if I decide to plea bargain on it. But he said, "I'm also going to get you psychologically evaluated from stuff that I told you." The things that I repeated to y'all, that's what I told him about what happened. He told me he's going to get me psychologically evaluated. Okay. After he came to see me, probably about 2-3 weeks later, this other attorney came to see me. His name was Charles J. Funk. Charles J. Funk told me, I told him I got a lawyer. He said, "That other lawyer, you're not going to see him again. I'm a $100,000 lawyer. You're getting free. That other lawyer can't do for you what I can do for you. With 2 prosecutors that's prosecuting your case, I taught them their job. The judge that's prosecuting you, that your trial is in, he said, she's a personal friend of mine. Nobody can do for you what I can do for you in that courtroom." So I'm thinking that this is proper procedure. It's not. He violated code of ethics of the Bar Association by talking to another person's client without their permission. He's not supposed to do that. That's part of the code ethics. Secondly, they didn't take me before the court to tell me and to file a motion. They're supposed to file a motion for withdrawal. And the motion of withdrawal, then they asked for a motion for substitution. So for the switching of counsel. None of these procedures were followed and none of these procedures were done. They got to ask me, do I consent or do I object to my attorney being named? They didn't do that. Texas Code of Criminal Procedure 26.04. That's the assignment and the assignment and replacement of lawyers. It's also Code of Civil Procedures Rule 10. That's a violation of the withdrawal. That's another thing that they didn't do. They didn't follow the rules, protocols, and procedures of the court. They switched this lawyer, gave me this lawyer. This lawyer was set up. I didn't know who he was until it was my sentencing hearing. He wore this blazer that he wore when I got the motion to go into the court to get a public defense attorney from the public defense attorney program. And he had gave the DAs that was prosecuting my case, he gave them advice on how to fight the case, and he gave advice on if they should start my sentencing with my plea bargain at 30 years. But this is the same man that's in this courtroom that's representing me. He hired an investigator. The investigator did not do investigation. I asked him questions. Who did he talk to? Who was the address? He couldn't tell me nothing. So me and him had a falling out. That's one thing. I asked him about, he comes and he goes into the state's file, the prosecutor's file, their evidence, their witnesses. He did not give me not one witness to testify on my trial in an 8-day trial that I had. He did not do none of those things. He couldn't show me nothing that he had personally done on his own. When it comes to talking about the suicide by cop, yes, it was an issue in my trial, but this man never had me psychologically evaluated at not one point in time during the time that I went to court. That's the issue. The issue of my mental state of time and my mental state of mind was the issue in my trial. It's sure during the chief phase of the trial, they wanted to look at information from the witness, which was one of my stepson's friend who was shot. He's been in trouble. He was on probation in that courtroom for trying to take the gun from a police officer during an altercation he was fighting with police. So he was already on probation out of the same courtroom that I'm in trial with. They used him as a witness against me, but I could not say nothing about him ever being in trouble or him being in the game, but they filed a motion to eliminate the motion. It prevents me about who what he's pleading with. I couldn't say nothing about that. They put a gag order in my trial, so nobody from the public could be in there. Nobody from the news media, because I had a high-profile case. They wouldn't let the public be a part of my trial, and that's another thing they was doing. They was hiding things that the public could not see. They enhanced me. They enhanced me for as a habitual offender. That means that I had been in trouble 2 times prior when I was younger. They used those things I did in my prior in order to enhance me to be able to get 25 to life. However, one of the charges that they used for the enhancement allegations they couldn't use because I never got convicted on that trial of this thing that they used, nor was I ever indicted on this issue as well. It's a made up charge. So I got time for a made up charge that I never went to prison for. And that's what they done.
Casey, some of the things that you was just speaking on, I heard that from other men. Them when they go into the courts, they have charges that they're not able to defend against, or the judge will say, well, they just because it was mentioned that they let it stand.
You have 1 minute left.
How can you convict somebody if you don't allow them the chance to defend against the crime, that whatever you're accusing them of? How can that be?
I'm gonna call back.
Okay. Cornel?
Yes, ma'am.
How can that be?
Okay, ma'am, here's
The
what is
caller has
happening
hung
with
up.
what you have. Okay. They have made a shortcut way on how to get convictions against individuals, right? Okay, here's a study. In 2021, the Duke Law Journal published a study by scholars Neil L. Chickham and Mr. J. Jenkins titled Pay to Play. The study compiled data from over 260,000 felony cases from January of 2005 through May of 2018 in Harris County, Texas, whereas Houston, okay. In that jurisdiction, the assignment of counsel scheme is supposed to be a wheel system. This is where private attorneys acting as independent contractors and compensated with public funds are individually appointed using a system of rotation to private legal representation to an indigent defendant. However, whereas the list rotation is the law, it surely wasn't written in stone because the study found that the Harris County judge who have to be elected to the court turn an auction block award the lawyers independent contractors who contributed funds to their campaign more than twice the amount of cases they assigned to non-donors. Donors generating over 27 times the amount they donate to the so-called judge campaign. Hence, the donors are overwhelmed with a large caseload and can only underperform since They're paid because of the number of days
Casey, what are
spend on the case. They are encouraged.
An inmate
So what
said,
happens?
Connolly unit, this call is being recorded and is subject to
live
monitoring. To accept this free call,
lawyers
press 1. To refuse
Cases
this free
based
call,
upon
press
them
2.
donating to the Energy
Security.
Defense Fund
You may start the
and to the judge's
conversation now.
campaign. So like in Casey's case, his lawyer now did not have the will. It was not assigned to Mr. Casey's case according to the will. The judge put them on the case in order to pay the attorney double the amount of money to help him get his conviction, not help him defend his conviction. So this is why our system is so broken, because they have found a shortcut on how to get convictions. African Americans are being placed between all white juries behind this type of a system, where judges are allowing the district attorney and the attorney to exclude all African Americans from the jury panel now, to allow an individual African American to be placed between an all white jury trial to get a conviction with falsified evidence, perjured testimony, and all of this. So with a system like this, ain't nobody paying attention to how they're getting the conviction. All we care about is we, the jury, find the defendant guilty as charged in the indictment. Once that happens now the burden of proof is shifted to the defendant to have to prove his innocence. And with a broken system like we have today now, it's almost nearly impossible to prove that you are innocent through a crooked justice system.
Well, you know,
Wow.
Cornel,
Okay.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. I just wanted to know if they say that you have the juries is a jury of your peers, because you said that the court said that the jury was a all white jury, and statistics shows, once again, it's just not what we're saying. Statistics shows that African American men do not have a jury of their peers.
Okay.
They don't. As in, you know, in Juan's case, he had 6 whites, 5 Hispanics, and one mixed, one person that had black in the shoe. That's what he told me, and that's what
Okay.
This system is not designed for us. It's not designed for the people of color. It's not designed for the our brown brothers and sisters. It's just designed for one person, because what I'm hearing with Casey and what I hear from the other man's, is basically the same thing. Everybody is in the same thing. In this, they say the same things. Casey, I believe this question is for you. What evidence was used against you in your trial, and why do you believe it was misinterpreted or incorrect? Casey?
First of all, one of the main issues that was used against me was my past. It was like I was going to trial for something I did when I was in my youth stage. Yeah. And I done something in my youth stage. It wasn't something that the trial that I was on right now. They told me this is what the DA told me. They was acting friendly, but they was acting friendly because of my attorney. My attorney was talking their job. So what I was getting from them, they said if I hadn't never been convicted of anything in my prime, I lost a year. So during the time that I was inside, when I was applying for attorney, one of the DAs that was in there telling the 2 prosecutors, 2 white females, that they could apply to convict. I'm listening to everything that's going on. They brought me into that courtroom after hours when courtroom is supposed to be closed. I went there at 5:30 in the evening, got into the courtroom at 6, didn't leave out of there till 8:30. I'm the only person in there with all these white DAs and the white judge. And so they looking at this other attorney who used to be a head prosecutor in the courtroom, my attorney at all, who later was assigned to me. So the evidence that they used against me, actually, it was fabricated up because of my power. My powers got me that time.
So
you wouldn't even talk what I've done.
So you saying that they use your past to convict you on in this case. They didn't have no evidence against you, because I heard that you said that you was acquitted.
Self-defense. It was self-defense.
It was self-defense.
It was self-defense. It started out now. What I'm accepting responsibility for was the incident with that officer. I take full responsibility, and I'm accountable for that. Yeah, that incident right there, that bothered me. I didn't want no one getting hurt, you know. And it's really, if that's really what my son. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. We at my house, you're an active gang member, and if anyone else gonna come to put a gun on me at my house, I'm gonna shoot him. Only reason how they killed him was because of his mama and his father. They were a friend of mine. They were professors at a college. His mama was a professor and his daddy was a professor, was the lead teacher of the college in San Antonio, a black college. You know? And because I went fishing with this person, and I knew him, I talked to him on occasions, I always talked to him, I'm a social critter. That's the only reason I didn't do it, because I didn't want them to go to a funeral. I didn't want to kill this. He put, a situation where I had to defend myself.
And
you're at my house. You're at my house.
And anyone in your position would have defended themselves, and they would have seen it as it was either my life or their life, self-defense. And so. I understand what you're saying with that you taking responsibility what happened to your action towards the officer.
The thing about it is, when I'm going through this trial, Shanette, this is real. He didn't call out one witness to testify on my behalf. He didn't call out one expert witness to testify on my behalf about my mental state. He didn't call out nobody to defend me. They threw the SWAT officer who was shot by me to be sworn in as an expert witness on ballistics. I needed someone to tell the truth about the distance of where these shots were fired. How far was it? Because they can do a shot pattern with a shotgun and tell how far it was. The DAs coached my stepson and his friend to lie. They said that they was across the street 40 feet away. They were 30, 40 feet from me out of shot. They were the entire body because the pellets of the shotgun would have hit them for their body. That wasn't the case. It was a dice barrel and a shot in the hand. Both of them in their hands, because I knew what I was aiming for. I was just wanting to make sure that gun wasn't going to be shot or they was going to raise it up to shoot me. I'm good enough to do it that way. And I've been practicing shooting guns for a long time since I was a kid. My neighbor taught me how to shoot guns. He run a gun range. So it's not something that I haven't been doing. I hunt, I fish, I do all these things, But at the same token, the things that they done in that trial and they put home, it all the constitutional rights and my rights in that court on what to do what they did. The judge violated she interfered with the fact finding of the jury during the deliberation. He did a supplemental charge to discourage them to look at the evidence that they want to look at the testimony from my stepson's friend. They wanted to see that again. She was on another thing to delay their fact finding that they can see everything that it was to find out what are the persons that they may be thinking to negotiate.
Cornel, have a question for you. Go ahead, Cornel.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Obviously, your case is a self-defense case, Mr. Casey. Okay. And outside of that, little did you know, after the shots fired, Mr. Casey, you were doomed. Why? Because you was forced to go to a rigid criminal justice system. You know, so with that being said, you did what you had to do to defend yourself. So now, outside of that, little did you know, when you got to the criminal justice system, you didn't know that your lawyer was going to be a former assistant district attorney, and that the judge who assigned him to represent you was paying him double the amount of the money to help get your conviction. Now watch this. The same individuals who you relied on became the San Antonio City's attorney, the DA, the Justice of the Court of Appeals, the judge, and the district attorney again. Susan D. Reed became another district attorney after being an assistant district attorney. This individual, she controlled the Bexar County Courthouse where he was convicted at. So they did not want African Americans on the jury panel. And it was already stated that African Americans were not allowed on the jury panel. My name is Cornel Jackie Drummer, and you can Google my name. I had 2 all-white jury trials in San Antonio, Bexar County Courthouse. I, too, was represented by a court-appointed attorney, Demetrio Duarte Jr. He was an assistant DA in the same courtroom. Little did I know. So you were doomed after the shots were fired, Mr. Chief. And now here it is, trying to challenge your conviction, to try to help overturn your conviction is going to be an uphill battle. Why? Because the judicial system is built to help you fail. That's the system right now we're dealing with. So, but, you know, like I said, you know.
But what ain't it, you know, can you use, because I know me and Casey was talking earlier, and he was telling me about a case that's similar to his case. Can he go into court and present that case, the similarities of that case?
He can use the information. Dr. Steady in the book to me at that point in time in the high profile tank that I just did. He's the white guy. He shot a police officer in the chest, which was in the look, and he shot his best friend behind his girlfriend. And that guy was paralyzed in his home. But this allowed these guys to plead party to 19 years in prison. He only have to do 9. So more than likely he's at home already.
Oh, he at home.
You know. Because maybe you start off for 40 years for people. So why not just go ahead and go to trial and take my chances? And why am I taking my chances? It's the after effect. They support the rights of individuals in the courtroom. You don't know the rules, regulations, and policies and guidelines in the court. You don't know the things they can't do. We don't know these things. You know, we think there's law and order in them courtrooms. There's no law and order in them courtrooms. Just like them DAs be acting on that courtroom, they act like that for real. They will cheat. There's no ethics in what they're doing. You know, so I look at this. Even with the appeal lawyer, I had one lawyer, she quit being a public defender, so they give me another lawyer. They gave her 11 days to protect my appeal to fight my case. While alone, she got 45 of the cases that she's working on. She got 11 days. She ain't looked at my case in 11 days trying to do the best thing she can do for me.
So basically, you saying your public defender was overworked, that she had 25 more cases and they gave her 11 days to overlook your case?
Yeah, this is what she wrote me after she did the brief to fight my case. She said, in my opinion, they have a clear conviction. That anything that you do after this here is privilege. I basically just need, I'm going to paraphrase this because this is what I got out of it, that I just need to give up at this very time. So, you take my case, put it on my own, I started 1107. I challenge the insufficiency of evidence and the ineffectiveness of the counsel. So the court wants them to answer the allegation by affidavit. See, the affidavit, and it's true. So the affidavit that you will, this is one of them because I feel ineffective by not having me psychologically evaluated. So they told the lawyer to explain it. They told Judge Blunt to explain why he can have me psychological evaluated. He said, in my opinion, I didn't feel that Mr. Woodard needed to be psychologically evaluated. You're not a psychiatrist. You're not a qualified, certified psychiatrist to be able to evaluate me on what you feel or think. That's not your expertise. You're a lawyer. You're trained to be a litigator. You're an agent of the court. And you're acting outside your expertise to be able to assert any kind of communication about my mental health. You can't say what my mental health is because you're not a psychiatrist.
Right.
Let
me jump in right quick. Let me jump in right quick. So, are you telling us that you went through a whole trial without being evaluated, having your mental evaluated? They did not evaluate you?
Yes. They didn't evaluate me. And then when I come to prison, I'm still dealing with the residuals of that incident. I was still having recurring nightmares and dreams. I wasn't mentally right. I didn't get my mental state capability at least normal until I went to prison in December 2010. When I got there, they evaluated. They needed us to be covered because I still had a crime fit. I was still having emotional breakdown. And then around between January and June of 2015, I was able to snap back through mental health treatment and assistance by a woman that was on the Mark W. side unit. She was my mental health counselor and psychiatrist. Her name was April Moore. And I give everything to her because she helped me to regain my comfortable mental state and helped me shift back from that incident because I was messed up for a while. I was really out of there. You know, psychologically I wasn't there. I was there recurring. I was waking up in sweat and fear that somebody was standing over me. So I had all different kinds of versions of the event in my head, in my mind. It was really hard for me to get over that issue for a minute. But through her coaching, through her care that she was giving me, and she was a black woman. And I haven't had anyone I still go through the mental health to talk things out, to keep my growth, keep my mental capability at its where I feel like that I'm stable, you know, because every now and then you need to talk to somebody. You got to talk about it. It's just too many deaths going on around me as well. Too much stuff happening in life, and anything could be a trigger. You got to know your triggers in order to be able to know when you need to go get some help. And
right.
I know my triggers, and I know what I need when I'm having.
Can I ask you a question, Mr. Casey? For anybody that's listening to this podcast tonight, what would you want from them to take from your story? And if possible, how would they be able to help you in this situation to get some type of help that you need in order to get your case reviewed back into the court system, sir?
If I was going to contact an attorney that left my case and disappeared on me, I want to answer. Because what happened? How did you disappear from me? His name is Albert M. Gutierrez Jr. What happened? How did you leave my case? You told me you could get me 25 years. You told me not to talk to anyone. How did you leave my case, and how did this other attorney become my lawyer? You know, them the answers that I need fulfilled. Because if you can tell me that he can get me in 25 years, and he can write a statement that he told me that I can get my case back in the courtroom. And that's one of the issues that is that still to this day, he's still showing as my attorney because he never filed a withdrawal to get off my case.
Okay. So with that being said, Mr. Casey, there are procedures for which they have to go through with situations like that. Under the Indigent Defense Fund, they have a place called the Indigent Defense Fund. And if an attorney is assigned in your case who's not supposed to be your attorney, they're supposed to conduct an investigation into that. Why? Because you have state agencies who are paying out money, which is taxpayers' money, to attorneys to help these attorneys to represent people. So if you're saying that your attorney was not assigned to you, without being a part of the wheel of the 5 attorneys on your case, and that the judge who assigned him to be representing you was not actually following the protocols, don't you think that it would be necessary to seek some type of criminal investigation into that process?
Well, let's go for the system. They protect their own. Committee, I filed complaints on it, I filed in the Bar Association, and what they tell me, it's been too long. This issue is they can't do nothing about it because they have an expiration of time on it, and they appreciate my reporting the issue and stuff, but there's nothing they can do on it any matter. So yeah, they put it up under the rug. They're not trying to help nobody.
I hear a lot of that a lot of men get time barred that they say once they go through the appeals, they keep giving the states back the law. They giving them back their own law and they keep getting denied. And then by the time they keep filing all these appeals, trying to get back in court, trying to prove their innocence. Now they time barred. Time done ran out. Now that's it. So when they get time barred, Cornel, what then?
Okay, ma'am, that's a good question to be raised. Okay, now here it is, ma'am. Here's where it started at. According to the executive branch of government, the list of replete with lawyers Joe Biden, DA, and the Attorney General Kamala Harris, Barack and Michelle Obama, George Bush, Bill and Hillary Clinton, and the Kennedys. These individuals were attorneys from the beginning. Then on the law scale, you got Texas Governor Greg Abbott, then you got the previous attorney, which is Rick Perry. Now you got these attorney generals now running for lawyers and coming from district attorneys and stuff like that. So now our system has came up with a process on how to limit you from being able to challenge your conviction. We have now what we call Anti-Terrorism Act. If you don't file something within 1 year after discovering this information, then you time barred. We have something called a subsequent writ application law. If you file one application, you have to find everything that you can locate in that case to say that it was a violation of your constitutional rights. So now, just mind yourself, it'll take you mainly 2-3 years just to even get your records. Sometimes it takes you 10 years just to get your records. So by the time you get your records, ma'am, you have already been time barred. So now when you challenge your conviction, if you discover something after you challenge your conviction, ma'am, the courts say that they do not have jurisdiction to consider that. Why? Because you could have brought this up on your first issue. So now as of, what you just asked, ma'am, they saying that we're time barred from being able to raise anything else within our convictions because we should have raised it first time. So that's a big
if they not giving you the proper representation, if these people are not working for you, they're overworked, and they only got giving them 10 or 11 days to look at a case. Make it make sense. I just seen on the Missouri governor just exonerate, just released the first white cop that hung a black man. He's out. And this is the same governor in August that wouldn't stop the execution of Marcellus Williams, the black man that was wrongfully convicted. But you're gonna put an innocent man to death, but you're gonna let this person out that hung a black man. You know what? I'm gonna let you guys finish because you know my blood pressure is raising.
Okay, well, let me get this one out of the way.
Go ahead, KC.
Okay. Now this is the stick. This is the issue right here. Now, this same lady attorney who they're assigned to me, the story of Rodriguez Miller, she's representing me. So she filed this writ. So when I filed an effective assistant counsel on her, and she said she has to answer why that she filed an effective assistant counsel. She has to go find this lady. She would not answer the court, and it took them 6 months to find her to bring her to the court. So when they finally brought her to the court, they questioned her. If she went to the court, I want to be able to supplement my records. I want to be able to question her on the stand. If you're going to sign me an attorney, I have the right to be able to question her if you have a hearing. So I filed the necessary paperwork to be able to do it. They denied me from being able to do it. But they didn't tell me that they had this hearing after they answered my writ, which they denied. But this lady said, when I was reading her answers while they was questioning her, they asked her, why didn't you file an effective assistant counsel on his attorney, Charles J. Park? She said the reason why she didn't file ineffective assistant counsel because in her experience, that justices look down on other attorneys who file ineffective assistant counsels on other lawyers. So she did not do it. So if you didn't do the job that you was paid, because you was paid by the innocent defense fund to represent me. So you didn't do your job because you had fear of what the judges and other your peers would think about you because you filed on against another lawyer. You got to your duty, your job to represent me in questions of the law that I'm supposed to have an effective assistant counsel. You got deficient on me, didn't do your job because you had fear of what they were going to think about you. So therefore, I didn't have a proper appeal process. I didn't have none of that. And so when I'm reading this, I found out that they had a witness, which was the negotiator name and stuff. After I found out that he had wrote a statement, I tried to get the statement from my lawyer. He wrote me a letter telling me that he signed an agreement with the prosecutors not to share any information in their files with any of his clients. He appreciated my understanding on the matter. How am I going to understand when you're hiding information from me? That's a Brady violation. They have to disclose all evidence they have that was favorable to my defense in order for me to be able to be acquitted on the charges that I had done against me. I could have been acquitted on that issue because of my mental state, because you didn't do your job, or y'all didn't have.
Let me.
It's a lot. We can do it.
Right. Let me jump in right quick because we only got 5 minutes left. We always running out of time when it's getting good. So Casey, we got to bring you back, but we're gonna be on break until February. So you coming back in February, so we're gonna talk. You're gonna keep in touch with me. Cornel, I'm gonna go ahead and let you end it. Well, let me just tell everybody Merry Christmas and remember what I said.
Me and my family, my brother and fellow counselor, stage 4. This is a real hard thing for me right now because he's my only brother. We close, and I understand how people exist these days, y'all. If you got a grudge against your family members or if you got something going on, forgive them, love them, and just understand, man, we are not perfect. Human beings are not perfect. We're imperfect. Only Jesus is perfect. So I tell y'all all that. Love on your family, kiss them, hug them, and tell them you love them. And I thank you for the time.
Okay. 3 minutes, Cornel. Wrap it up.
Okay, for everyone listening to this podcast, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays for y'all. And for anyone listening to this podcast tonight, we're really talking about the United States criminal justice system and how messed up our system really is. So really what we should be trying to do is to go to the polls, to push laws to try to have these people come back and to revisit our criminal justice system. We have a president who passed a First Step Act. And in the First Step Act, it does nothing to try to curb the problems on our criminal justice system. It only taps into the top of the iceberg, the criminal justice system. It does nothing to address these judges, these lawyers, these prosecutors, these crime labs, you know what I'm saying, these mental health evaluators. Okay, it does nothing. So if you are an advocate for criminal justice reform, come on, let's talk about the real issues that matters. Issues where blacks are being convicted by all white juries. Judges are being paying lawyers double the amount of money to help get convictions. Let's come out and talk about these issues and raise the concerns about how African Americans, and not just African Americans, but anybody, because this deals with everybody, not just the African Americans, but the statistics are real. So let's believe in the statistics. So this is for everybody. Let's talk about it. It's for everybody. So come on out, join the show, and guess what? Have their voices heard. Go to the polls. If they're not doing right, throw them out the office. But let's address our criminal justice system in the right way. And start from the top and bring it to the bottom, and let's get our kids home, because that's what we have. So thank y'all very much for having me on this show, and I love being on this show. And thank you, Mrs. Shanette, for having me on your show, ma'am, as your co-host. And thank you, Mrs. Angela, for having me a part of your crew podcast and your Aspiring Authors magazine, ma'am. And thank y'all very much for having me. Thank you.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Enjoy your holidays. We'll see you back on Monday with our bonus show, and then that will be it until February. Love you guys. Have a blessed holiday.